Hi, this is Paul with Equipt Expedition Outfitters, and today I'm very excited to show you something brand new from Eezi-Awn. They have created an entirely new rack design specifically for the Toyota Tacoma double cab pickups, both in Gen 2 and Gen 3 models. And I'm very excited to see what they have got here. What it comes down to is a set of components that you put together when they get to your home. It comes in a box about 6 by 6 by about 5 feet long, so it's very easy for us to get to you by ground freight. Not a problem there. What we do is we set up 4 pieces of channel into the pinch weld seam on your Tacoma. Those are then attached to these brackets, which are front and rear brackets for the top. From those brackets, we have 2 side rails that hold everything together, and in those side rails, all of these holes are lined up to mount the mounting extrusion. In this mounting extrusion, there are 3 top extrusions plus a wind fairing that go on the top of the rack system. The extrusions are incredibly strong. They have the 8mm T-slot built into the top of them, and what's nice about this rack is that it is very modular in the fact that if 3 load bar or cross braces are not enough, you can add more to it, clear up to a solid platform on the top of the rack. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put the first one together on our Equipped Junior Tacoma double cab truck. Let's get to it. Up on the roof of the double cab Tacoma, and what we've done is we've taken out the pinch weld trim, is what I like to call it. And what that is that right here is where the roof is welded to the side of the truck. And down in that channel is where they have created some mounting points in the double cab Tacoma lids. And those are 6mm threaded holes, okay? And so when you take that trim off of the roof, you're gonna see this piece of white foil over all of those holes. It looks nice and clean, but if you take a razor knife, you can cut the material out there to clear out those holes. So there's a couple things I want to show to you. One, down in there, you have some threaded points. Those are really cool. The trick of those is that the last thing we want to do is to put a bolt in there and have that bolt seize in place. That's a terrible thing. So what I suggest you do is take a 6mm tap and run that tap down through that hole. Make sure that there's no burrs in the threads, because that's a virgin thread. There's nothing been in there, and there might be a little bit of paint or other stuff in there. And then what I do is I take one of the 6mm bolts that come with the system, put a little bit of anti-seize on that bolt, and take your Allen wrench and run that thing down in there and run it down in there. And what that's going to do is that's going to put some of that anti-seize material down in the threads on each one of those. Because here in a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to put some silicone over each one of those holes. We're going to put the mounting rail in place, bang, and then we're going to push the bolts down through the mounting rail, through the silicone into those threads. And if we do that correctly, that should seal up the holes and also allow you to back them out at a future date because of the anti-seize. This is your mounting extrusion. Okay, and if you look at that darn thing right at the end, you notice on this one, the right-hand side of that extrusion tapers up quicker than the left-hand side, below the slot that we use for our mounting points. It tips up a little bit vertical. And what we found is that these extrusions are not only left and right, but front and back. And the reason for that is we want to have that faster vertical climb to the inside of the roof. When we put this down over our holes, you'll see down in there that we want that to climb quicker. And what that's going to do is allow to compensate for the curve in the roof line. It's not an up and down curve, but a left to right. The front of the pinch weld trim actually curves outward on the roof. So we want to have that in the right place. Now down in there are some holes. We've got a single hole and a slot. Super deal. So what we're going to do is try to match up that hole with that front hole and use the slot for our back slot. And what we found is that not only are they left and right, but if you look at them here, the slot on this one is further back on the extrusion, and that's because the holes back there are further apart. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting the right extrusions in the right places. So you're very quick rise on that extrusion, that side right there, right-hand side, that is to the inside of the truck. And then the longer spacing for those items, you put to the back. Okay, so now, the other thing you do is you notice I've got the holes in these already, but in this one here, you don't see any holes because there is foam rubber on the bottom of it. All right, so what I did is I took from the back side of this guy, I took an awl, one of these guys, and I found the hole in there and I pushed that down through there and twirled it back and forth, and I cleared the hole, because if you try to take this with the foam in place and stuff a bolt down in there, you're going to get really kind of the threads buggered up because of the foam removing itself from the backside of this extrusion here. And that's the last thing you really want to do. That's not cool at all. Okay, so now let's say we've got that positioned in place there. We're going to need to cut some trim. So we have a piece of trim that goes from just under the windshield clip here, clips on here, and it's going to run in here, and you're going to have to cut it off right here. You're going to come back here, and you're going to need to run down there and see that other mount. So that's that pinch weld trim right here. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to take this piece of pinch weld trim and I'm going to butt it right up tight there. Right up nice and clean. Okay, bang. Then I'm going to go down there and I'm going to see where I need to cut it down there and just make one cut instead of having to cut a little bit here off the back of this one and cut a little bit off the front of that one. I'm just going to make one cut on that. The interesting thing about this material is that right inside that little hole in the I-beam there, the center, there's a piece of metal in there. And so what we found is it's really easy to cut the rubber with a razor knife. And you can take it and you can wiggle it back and forth and break it off. That's possible. Or what we do is we take a Dremel with a cutting wheel and cut right through it. It makes it real easy to do that. Okay, and then you're going to put that trim back in there. We're going to go down there. So what we end up having it look like is a piece of mounting rail with a piece of trim butted up right to it, nice and clean. Okay, so what we have sitting here now is we've got all of our mounting rail attached in place. We've got the two over there on the passenger side. We've got the driver's side rear, the driver's side front one. And what we did is we put the mounting rail in, tied it in place, nice and sealed, and we cut the back trim to fit here, and we cut the back or the middle trim to fit in up to here. And we're going to replace the trim up there, and it's looking nice. Our next step is to go and pre-assemble the top of the rack itself. We laid all the pieces of the top of the rack out here on a big table so that we can take a good look at what we are putting together. So what you'll see down here is we've got, this is all upside down. We have the two sides. These will be set up vertically here, one there and one on the other side. This is the front wind fairing, sets up against the assembly there, bolts in to these two holes here. Okay. Now what we have is we have our three slats. We have the slats upside down, so that's the smooth side down. On the other side, that's the T-slot right there. Then we want that up on the top. So we're going to take this extrusion here and put it in the last set of holes, right back in here. So that gives us our back. Our front is going to be this edge up here. And so what we want to do is we want to lay out our other two extrusions in that field where we want them, so that we can put this rack together and give us some good rigidity and strength. So we're going to put that together and we'll take a look at it then. We've got the trim all back in place, and we've put the feet in place up here on the top. And all of these feet are pretty much specific to the locations. If you notice on the back here, what we've done is we made sure that this is vertical on here. This is the bigger foot, and it's for the back. And it has a lot of slide outward this way because the pinch weld trim on the Tacoma gets narrower between the trim at the back of the roof line. So it needs to have more lateral adjustment outward to catch the platform on top, okay? Now the smaller feet are up on the front, and we've got them set up so that if you look at it here, we're trying to leave this piece so that it's parallel to the rear and holds into that position, so it'll have a little bit more space here. I think it'll make a lot more sense once you have the pieces in hand to take a look at that. But from here, what we're going to do is we're going to put the platform, which is right there, we're going to put that up on the 4 feet up here and see how it looks. Okay, so we have the Eezi-Awn K9 cub rack installed on our double cab Tacoma truck. I want you to take a good hard look at this because it turned out awesome. What you'll notice here is the profile between the roof and the vehicle. There is not much profile at all along here. Not much at all. And it comes clear back and it's dead set against the back of the cab here. And once we go up on top, I want you to look at this. Look at the extrusion span across the back edge of this. So you can go right to the back of the rack and still have your antenna on there, and it is flush with the top of the antenna. I'm going to stand up here on the steps here and show you the top here. So what we have out on the front is our wind fairing. And what's unique about this wind fairing is behind this piece of metal here is one of these cross braces. So if you choose in the future that you want to put a light bar up in the front of this, hopefully you can use these that are holding this piece of metal on to it. But if not, underneath here, anywhere you want, you could drill a hole, put a bolt through into the T-slot and have it pointing out for you to attach a light bar anywhere across the front of this rack that you wanted to. We have all of our locations here in place for our feet. They're attached on the sides with a couple 8mm here and a couple 8mm down at the other end there. We have a myriad of slots available for you to put the cross braces anywhere you darn well please, and that keeps them darn flush to the top here. The kit comes with 3 cross braces, 1 at the back, 2 in the centers, and then of course your wind fairing up in front. And it is rock solid. There is nowhere this is going to go. The other thing that we figured out that was really kind of cool is the distance between the roof, not the ridge line here, but the bottom part of the roof and the top of this is 1.5 inches. It's going to be about 1.25 inches from the top of a rib. It is as tight a rack to the roof line as you are going to be able to get and still have any type of load capacity on it. We're very excited about this. This is, again, the Eezi-Awn K9 cub rack, specific to the Toyota Tacoma double cab Gen 2, Gen 3. And I'm excited for this. I think it's going to go a long way for the company. Again, this is Paul May calling from Equipt Expedition Outfitters, and I sure appreciate your time. Thank you.